Hello there guys, Orange Samurai here, and I'm here with Brandon Wink. He won the Set 5 9am competitive constructed tournament on the Toronto Lorcana Challenge, and he won it with Ruby Sapphire, and he's gonna run us through his deck.
Yeah, so it being a new format, I wanted to go back to basics. I used to run Ruby Sapphire back in the day, so I thought, first you start off with your Popsicle. You get 4 of them, just like every other one. But a new card was the Ruby Chromicon. This card actually came in pretty good for me because it helps you trade up. And especially with one of the other cards I played later on, Tipo. Of course, 3 ice blocks. Some do 4, but I wanted a little bit more consistency in my inking, so I only went with 3. I still saw it plenty because of using 3 Develop Your Brain and 3 Vision to the Future. Both of these cards let you dig through your deck a little bit. This one lets you look at the first 2 and pick 1 to put in your hand. This one lets you look at the first 5. So it's like Scry 5 in Magic, and it worked fantastic. If I needed to get an out that turn, I was able to quickly find it. And then 4 of this new boy, Tipo, he's like a fishbone on a body where on turn 2, I can play him, and then any uninkable that I have in my hand, I can just go ahead and ink it. Helps me ramp, helps me be consistent. And with the Ruby Chromicon, he's able to trade up, which really helped me out. Another card that I'm using is 2 Brawls. Some other lists, they run a bit different type of removal, but I wanted inkable removal in case I can't do anything with it. And especially with the Ice Block, Brawl's able to take out stuff that it normally wouldn't. 3 Fishbone Quills, because ramp is very important. You got to be able to get yourself into those high ink situations. 4 of the 3 for 1/1 Evasive Sisu. This one kills anything with 1 strength or less, which really helps out with those ice blocks, being able to take out anything. Especially one matchup I had a lot today was Steel Song, and being able to ice block into a Sisu on Aerial, being able to take out Daisy, because everyone's running 4 Daisies now. It just really helped out in that matchup. I was able to 2-0 every Steel Song I saw. I'm also running 4 Hiram, because he's good at card draw. Any Popsicle, if I don't need the Chromicon for that matchup, I can just play him, get my 2 cards, keep it going, keep getting stuff that I need. I also used 4 Grandma Tala because she's like Develop Your Brain just on a body. She's able to trade into stuff, especially with the Chromicon. She can really put in some good work. Speaking of good work, we got Maui. Everyone knows this card. He can kill almost anything when you play him on 5. He rushes in. He did a lot of good for me, especially with turning off red-purple Flynn's, because they had to answer with their own Maui, otherwise Flynn wouldn't activate. What I got in here is 3 Madame Medusa. Some others, they like to run 4, maybe they like to go a little less, but I felt 3 was a good number because with the Brawls especially, I didn't need to be running too many uninkables. I felt pretty good. A nice 20, 21 felt good to me. Cusco is new, and he saved me because red purple, they love running castle. Some of them run library. Being able to play Cusco and instantly ink their castle does great, especially playing them after I be prepared. Because if you're playing red purple, they love to be prepared and play castle the same turn, or if you be prepared first, they love to play castle afterwards. So being able to do be prepared and answer with a Cusco to their castle, I was able to just completely shut down one of my matchups. We got 2 Lucky Dime and the staple 4 Tamatoa. If you run items, you need your Tamatoa, and if you have Tamatoa, you need your Lucky Dime, because those 2 can seal the game. Especially if you already have your dime out and you know you can win, then you use your Develop Your Brain, you use your Visions of the Future, you have a Vision of Tamatoa, and that's a vision of winning. Then we got our Dragons, 4 Sisu, and 3 Maleficent. The 4 Sisu is amazing. It felt great. I regularly found myself at 8-9 ink, so I was able to play her whenever, no issue. Especially with Ice Block, I cleared entire boards. And then being able to shift it onto Sisu helped out in green-yellow, as well as against Steel Song. If they wheel and then drop a bunch of stuff on the board, easy clear. Maleficent came in so great. At first, I wasn't that sure if I wanted to run it over some other removal, but I found myself at that 8-9 ink, like I said, and being able to just play the Maleficent to out whatever they had, it always works well. Especially if I already have a dime on board, then I'm getting the 2, I'm able to quest with her the next turn, and everything's easy.
Alrighty, Brandon. And with that, I do want to ask, how many rounds was this event?
This was 8 rounds. I think it was about 142 players, and it felt great being able to come out, especially after the Toronto main event being set 4, being able to jump in the next day into set 5 cards, being able to see what was going on, play against a lot of other varieties. It was good. I faced a lot of different decks out today that I saw some of them in previous events, but they had some new stuff out there. I was caught off guard. I forgot some cards were added with set 5 because I was focused on the main event. So when I got hit by an Anna in green, I forgot that she killed off a damaged character. It really threw me for a second.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole new world, right?
Yeah.
So with that, I want to ask you, please, what were your matchups for this tournament?
So I faced 5 Steel Song, which I thought I would, which is why I wanted to pick this deck, because this deck usually performs well against it. Steel Song specifically because Daisy knew she does good work. I faced 1 Amber Emerald, which I thought I would, and I'm used to playing against a local player that runs that, so I knew certain unique lines that worked out well. And then I faced a Jafar Wheel, which I almost lost that one. That is a scary deck right now if they really get their stuff going. And then Red Purple was the last matchup. I played 1. It was the only one I played the whole weekend. I honestly thought I'd see a lot more of them in the main event. I didn't see a single one until just this day.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, big congrats on winning this event on a whole new format. Lastly, I want to ask you if you have any shout-outs that you want to give out, anyone you want to mention, thank for this.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout-out to my daughter, Kerrigan. She turned 9 this past weekend. We went to a Dolphins game. We had a good time, and she was okay with missing me for the weekend because I was able to take her on have a good time ahead of time. But now I get to come back. I get to show her this nice playmat that I won because of this fine event, and she's not going to be mad at me at all.
That's a very nice playmat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. This
Well,
whole event was wonderful.
Yep. Also, thank you so much for your time. I highly appreciate it. Are you going to be going to Seattle? I'm sorry, Vegas?
Yeah, I'll be at Vegas, and tomorrow I'm going to try and get my ticket to Seattle. I've been pretty lucky with getting my ticket, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. We'll see you there. Thank you for your time.
Of course.